Welcome back. It's the common pastime. We're all guilty of it one time or another. But what would you say if we told you that workplace gossip, right? It's now illegal.
Lock me up. New South Wales
seriously, we're going to jail.
and other states have introduced laws to prevent psychosocial hazards, which includes bullying, excessive workloads and malicious gossip or rumours. And from December 1, Victoria will adopt similar regulations. So here to walk us through the ins and the outs is workplace expert and author Sue Ellson. Sue, we laugh, but this is quite serious, isn't it? Break it all down for us. Is gossiping at work actually illegal?
Yes, good question. Well, if you are constantly targeting a particular person or group of people and it's repeated behaviour, then yes, that is going to be illegal. It's going to come under the Fair Work Act and it could be classified as bullying, harassment or even discrimination. So yes, if it's really targeted and people are feeling unsafe, then definitely that is going to be cause for concern.
And so it should. I think that's absolutely right. However, what is the difference then and who delineates what's just like general chatter at the workplace, what someone might be taking offence from but isn't meant to be offensive, and hurtful gossip? You know what I mean? Like we're looking at like whose truth is the truth.
Yes, it can be hard to tell in some situations. Look, if somebody is starting to feel unsafe by what's being said, they're starting to withdraw from meetings, you're noticing a change in their behaviour, then obviously that's more likely to be psychosocially unsafe and it's going to reduce trust in the workplace, respect, even productivity. So if it's leading to those kinds of behaviours, then you could probably say, yeah, we're going too far with the conversation here. And also, you know, when you're in a place and all of a sudden people go quiet when you walk past, you know, there's that terrible feeling of, oh, I think they're talking about me. So
being iced out
that's
in
chilling.
a way. What would be your advice then to employers and people in management on how exactly to measure this gossiping behaviour and enforce the appropriate consequences?
Yes, well, I definitely do not recommend cameras with AI tools to, you know, monitor what you're saying in the workplace. Obviously, if HR is starting to get complaints, managers getting complaints, there has been that drop in productivity. As I said before, maybe people are not contributing as much. There's higher turnover. Worst case, workers' compensation claims or even lodgements with the Fair Work Commission, then you've got a pretty good clue that things are not going too well.
What if you're not the butt of the gossip, for want of a better term, but you can hear people gossiping about a situation or a person? What actions can you take if you're employed somewhere?
Well, I definitely think you need to call it out. Obviously, you need to be the adult in the room and say, look, I don't think that's appropriate. There are some organisations now who are actually developing acceptable behaviours above the line and below the line behaviours. And they have a little training session and we all agree what is acceptable behaviour, what's unacceptable behaviour. But you might also like to change the narrative and turn around and say, why don't we do positive gossip? Why don't we talk about our wins and the things that are going well? And then that way we can sort of swing the needle towards that positive confirmation of different things that are going on rather than focusing on the negatives. And also be really careful about who you gossip about because obviously people bring that up again. It's time for a promotion. They might bag you behind your back. And I've always had that belief that, well, if they're gossiping about somebody else, then they're probably going to be gossiping about you at some later point. So you definitely don't want to encourage that
Mind the
behaviour.
gossips. Sue, great advice. Thanks
Sue.
for clearing it all up for us. See you soon. Coming up on